and I think we'll go ahead and get started.
Right. So you have to.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and get started. Thank everybody for coming today. We're at JPS, Johnson Price Sprinkles, new office that actually just moved kind of across the street, right, Kathy?
We did.
But just a beautiful facility here, and we thank you on behalf of the Chamber for letting us be a part of this.
We thank you for
and allowing us to come and help you celebrate. Thanks for that.
Thank you so much.
I wanted to just mention, I think it was interesting as I was driving up today, I thought, you guys have been in the community for a long time. And I got to asking around, and it's been really a lot longer than I thought. 36 years you've been incorporated in the city of Marion. How many people knew that? And actually for 51 years, they've had a presence in Marion and Dow County. So that's just great. And one of the things that I noticed, went to your website, did a little cheating. And I would encourage folks that really want to understand, there's one section called JPS Cares. And under that, you're going to be amazed at the kind of good citizen you folks are in each of the communities. And I'll mention that real quick before I forget it. Asheville, Boone, and the best one I heard was in Marion, I think. Kevin.
Absolutely.
Kevin told me that, I think. So, but we really appreciate that spirit, that attitude and willingness to encourage. I think there's been about close to approximately 7 Habitat houses that JPS is involved with, not only financially, but encouraging the team folks to go out and actually help on the houses. And I just thought, well, how cool is that, as far as being part of the community. And of course, we'll be having our Entrepreneurship Awards next week. Tom Johnson sponsors those, but it's actually sponsored by Johnson Price Sprinkle, JPS. So we're so thankful for that. There's other things that you do. I can't help it. When I think of JPS, I think of Kevin. I mean, he was the face of the chamber for a good long while. I think still, if you're going to become president for the chamber next year, it's kind of Kevin's the bar that you try to shoot for. So he was, and still is. And that's one of the other things I noticed, that in all those communities they're involved, not only of these other good things, but they're involved in the chamber.
Yes.
And we appreciate that. And so we just want to say thank you for all that you guys do, what you stand for. And I know we've got some good crowd here, and I think they're going to be panning around here just in a second, getting everybody in the video. But I know we got some folks that, and we're fortunate in this community to have folks that come out. And it's a sincere welcome, thank you, because we appreciate our businesses very, very much, and being such a vital part of that. But Mayor, thank you for always coming and being a part of this. And I know you'd like to add to what's been said.
Thank you. It is my pleasure as the mayor of Marion to show my excitement at Johnson Price and Sprinkle, being a corporate member of our community, and for coming into this beautiful new spot. When I moved to Marion in 1977, I don't recall where your offices were located. They were not across the street, however, because that was a restaurant. And my parents met my wife's parents
in that
restaurant at breakfast. It was Sunday morning in May 1976, the day of the Andrews Geyser dedication ceremony. But Johnson Price and Sprinkle is such an important part of our community. You do so many really important services for people. Until people began to do their own tax returns, kids who graduate from college, enter the real world, and suddenly they think they've got to fill out these forms. Oh, I can do that myself. I'm smart because I went to college. And then they look at their tax returns, and then they call Johnson Price and Sprinkle when they realize, wait a minute, this requires special knowledge, and y'all have that. And I'm grateful to you for what all of you have done. Kathy and I, our friendship goes back to when we were students together at Wake Forest 3 or 4 years ago. Maybe I should change the word years to decades. She's a lot younger than I am. But we're glad to have you here, and I'm very excited as mayor to officially be here and show my excitement and my support for you and for all that your office does.
Thank you so much. We really, really are overwhelmed at the number of people that came out to greet us today.
We're so excited to be here. The first office was, I believe, Lois, correct me if I'm wrong, was the basement of the first Union building at that time. And Lois spent many long working hours in that basement after dark and was glad when they finally made a move to a standalone building, and now we are really excited to be here. And of course we've heard rumors that something wonderful is coming to the corner that we vacated, so we hope that that works out for the community as well. And we have a lot of people here today from our Asheville office and one person from our Boone office, and thank you guys for coming and sharing this with you. I think all our JPS folks have name tags on. How about all the people from this office? Most of our JPS.
She's taking names.
If the Marion folk would come this way, we'll introduce everybody here.
Yeah, great.
And April Westmoreland is a manager with the firm. She's been here 14 years. Everybody, we have a lot of longevity in the firm, which I think speaks a lot for the firm and for our people. Of course, we've already mentioned Kevin. You've been here
11 years.
11 years. Lois Lynn, Lois Buchanan, 40 years in August. 40 years in August. Yes, great job. Cheryl Ballard, 17 years this time in February. Carla Reed is our newest member of our team. She's been here about a year. And then we have one other CPA, Leslie Langley, who's on maternity leave right now with her first baby. Again, we thank you so much. We have our website up in the conference room if you'd like to go look and see what JPS does. And Melissa is our marketing director. Would you like to make some comments as well?
I just want to thank everybody for coming out. This is a great turnout, and we're so excited to be in this new wonderful spot. So thank you for coming.
Okay, well, I did want to, if we could take just a couple of other seconds, so you guys stay right where you're at. A couple of other seconds right before we cut the ribbon. I want to recognize a couple other folks. Freddie from Downtown Business Association, and I may not have got that exactly right. I think it's, anyway, we always like Freddie back here, and also other folks from the city and county. Thank you for coming, and we are real proud of that. We've got also the ambassadors from the chamber.
Yes.
That is real active. This is fun. I mean, you know, it's that people fight to get on this committee because we come out and have a good time. I would like to do something a little bit different. Where's Rod?
He left.
Rod has been retired about 6 months, but and I think that's probably because of Kevin that he's probably here. Just say a couple of words, Rod. Thank you for coming out and being part of this.
I think I've lost my touch, but which may be a good thing. Well, let's see. I have a lot of memories about JPS and the people who've been involved with the chamber. Very critical to our needs. I want to compliment Jerry, though, just being part of the group again. After a few months away, Jerry does his homework. He always presents well, doing ambassadors, representing ambassadors in the chamber, and just really nice contribution that Jerry makes. Kevin, as past president, 6 years on the board of the chamber, and Harriet Thomas, before Kevin, I think you served at least 6 years.
7.
Numbers that I remember. And Harriet is a JPS alumni.
The city makes no apologies for saying
But these people, a nonprofit generally is kind of scrambling to make ends meet, and if you're dependent on membership recruitment, a lot of things that have variables to them, then you're not overstaffed by any means. And so we didn't have financial oversight that we really needed to have. Fortunately, there wasn't any scandal that's been detected yet during my life. We learned that we couldn't afford an annual audit. Our board decided that we're just going to try to do an internal audit. Well, the reason that we could do that was that Harriet took it upon herself to try to, and we had a finance committee and it was created and all this, but we had the expertise. So it wasn't just that JPS was represented on the board filling a seat and giving us, you know, a few hours a month. It was really getting us up to standards that were high for nonprofits. Kevin had continued that very well, and so those folks have made a permanent contribution. April is also somebody from the firm who's been involved. She's been an ambassador in the past, and Kathy's already been on call a lot. I can remember when Kathy and Tom first came to Marion in 1980, I think it was, and
Recruited by the McDowell Chamber of Commerce, by the way. We owe everything to the McDowell Chamber of Commerce, we do.
And I remember little Thomas when they came for the first time. So there are a lot of things that I'm remembering about being here, but we are lucky to have them. We really are, not just for the payroll and the taxes and all that kind of good stuff that comes with business presence, but also what they do. If we could clone them, you know, if we could take the rest of the 80% of the chamber membership and say, hey, yeah, it's good that you're here and doing business, but here's what else you can do. You know, maybe just a small portion of that. So anyway, they're shining light, and glad to see them move to some larger quarters.
Thank you. Kathy, anything else before? I know maybe our keynote speaker just arrived.
Right. Well, the most important person just arrived. This is Tanya, and she made the cupcake.
So we all clap because we've all ate them.
And those of you who haven't need to do so.
Yeah, and I think they probably want you to help out with this.
Yeah.
Otherwise,
I'll just take it home now.
Kevin's already asked me to stay after and help me. I really don't need to do that. Let's go ahead and we'll go outside. I think that's what we want to do, right, Melissa? And cut the ribbon, and then you guys come back in and get a snack. And again, thank you for letting us be a part of it.
Thank you for everything the Chamber does for the community, and we appreciate this so much.
Thank you.